Hey guys, Caleb here, and this is the OCT5 camera monitor. It costs only $125 and is loaded with features that you will not find in monitors that are much more expensive. The reason I'm doing a video on this little monitor is because in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to have a huge video talking about, I think, 12 monitors under $300. It's going to be an awesome video. I waded through tons of different monitors, spent thousands of dollars, and can't wait to show you what I came up with as the best monitors under $300. One of those monitors is this guy, and it was so good I thought it deserved its own review here on the channel. Once that video is up, I will put a card somewhere here on screen, and if you want to learn more about this monitor, you can check it out down in the description. The OCT5 is a 5.5-inch HD monitor that accepts signals up to 4K. For $125, you get the monitor itself, a monitor hood, really nice short HDMI cables, including micro HDMI, mini, and full, a great Yoke mount which has a built-in cold shoe for microphones, wireless receivers, or really anything else. Connectivity is also great for the price. For power, there is a dual battery style mount on the back, allowing you to use either Sony MPF batteries or Canon LPE6 batteries. The monitor can also be powered over USB, which is pretty neat. And there's even a DC output, allowing you to power your camera or other devices from the monitor's battery. Along with all of that, you get a headphone jack and an SD card slot for loading LUTs, which we will talk about later. The display also has an auto flipping feature. So if I just grab this thing and start tilting it, you'll see the image flip, which is really handy. This means that if you're, moving to the front of the camera and you need to adjust a light or something, you can just flip the monitor over, see it, flip it back. Or if you're doing something like what I'm doing right now, filming yourself, just rotate the monitor and you don't have to go into the menu system and hunt down any kind of flipping settings, which is fantastic. Now, all of that is great, but the real reason I think this camera is amazing is the built-in tools and page system, which is incredibly powerful. So let me start by talking about the different pages. So right now you can see I've got this display here. I've got a Vectorscope, Waveform, histogram, my image is squeezed off to one side. I can take this joystick and go to the right, and now I've got a completely different page with different settings. So in this one, I've got a center marker and a rule of thirds grid. I'll go to the right one more time. Now I have a clean image, and you can create all kinds of different pages, up to 8 in fact, which is awesome. And then you can add a bunch of tools to each of those pages and turn them on and off and customize each of them to create these different scenes. So if you want to be able to check your exposure, then check your composition, then check your focus, maybe even another page for your audio, you can easily do that and have a bunch of different pages and just swipe through them using the joystick. So let's add a new page and a bunch of settings to show you how this works. So again, if I go and take the joystick to the left, you'll see in the bottom of the screen here, we've got page 1, page 2, and page 3 is just kind of a clean image. Let's add a new page by holding down right on the joystick. We'll get a little message here in a second. Add new my set, I'll choose that. Now we have a page 4 here. At this point, I can press in on the joystick and we'll be able to add a new tool. So I'll select that, and here's the list of tools. We've got aspect, safe, center, crosshatch, false color, zebra, histogram, waveform, vectorscope, focus assist, and peaking, look, which is your LUTs, which we'll talk about, audio meter, and you can resize the image. So let's go through and add a couple of these. I'm not going to go crazy on every single one, but what's cool is each one of these has its own set of settings that you can customize. It's incredible. So I'm actually going to go down and let's choose waveform because it is super duper powerful. So I've added it here. I can go over to the right and I can enable it. Now we have a bunch of settings here. So you can see it's tiny off to one side. Let's go ahead and change that to large. And if it's not large, you can change, where it lands and all that good stuff. So I'm going to go large. You have Luma, which is just your luminance levels. I'm going to go through here. We've got RGB and Parade, which is crazy talk. And look how beautiful this Vectorscope is. If I move around here on screen, the frame rate, the refresh rate is amazing. For a monitor that's $125, you're going to be lucky to find any monitor under $300 that has something this good looking. So we'll go ahead and select that. We'll go down and we can add another tool. You can add up to 8 tools and up to 8 pages. So 8 tools on each page, 8 pages, which is just bonkers. So I could go down here and let's add focus assist. Now I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my waveform here so it's out of the way. We'll go into focus assist, turn it on. Just like that, I can see that I'm in focus. We've got our color. We can change that. As you see here, let's go with green. Sensitivity, can turn that way down or jack it all the way up. Holy smokes. That's probably not gonna be very helpful, folks. So yeah, something 5 or less is probably what I would recommend. Then we can go down, turn on a black and white background if we want to, or leave it like that. So as you can see, really easy to add tools. You can also remove them. So if I go into focus assist here, and I can go all the way down to the little trash can at the bottom, select that and confirm. Now that setting is gone. So that takes care of our settings and pages. There's a couple other cool features with this joystick and things that you can do. So I'm gonna go over to our third page, which is just a clean feed, and talk about the joystick. So here at this point, I could press up and now I have a zoom functionality. If I press up again, now we're at 4x. If I press in again, now I'm able to move things around. Look how smooth that is. That's really nice. I'll press it in one more time and now I can go back to zooming. So a quick way to punch in, check your image. Even though there's not a touch screen here and I can't pinch to zoom, this is really, really powerful and super easy to navigate. Alternatively, I can go down with the joystick and now I can adjust my backlight. So we can go really low here, you know, get some nice flicker going on screen, or back all the way up to 10, which is where I leave it. This is a 450 nit display, which is pretty standard for this price and size. So plenty bright for most use cases. If you go outside, you might need the hood if you're out in direct sunlight. But that's not all, folks. We can take the joystick, go directly to the left and hold it for 3 seconds. That'll take us to the main menu for this monitor. And there's a ton of goodies in here as well. So at the top here, we have our volume, backlight, display, rotate. So if you, for example, don't want it to auto rotate on you, you can go in there and change that or adjust the rotation or mirroring. We also have anamorphic, so we can go in and choose 1x or no D-squeeze, 1.33, 1.5, 1.66, which isn't that common, and I'm glad to see that here. 2x, 2x magnify, and back to 1x. We also have DSLR scale if you're using an older camera like a Canon 7D or 5D2, status display, calibration LUT, which is crazy. So you can actually create calibrated LUTs for this monitor and get the color perfectly dialed in. You also can go in here and make a bunch of changes to these variables to get everything just right. We've got our language, monitor info, you can do firmware updates, and load LUTs, which is what we're going to talk about next. So right here on the bottom of the screen or monitor, we have an SD card slot where we can load LUT. So I have one installed right now. We're going to talk about adding those. So I'm going to select load LUT file, execute LUT file, and it'll load up my SD card. There we go. I can choose user LUT, camera LUT, or calibration LUT. So I'm going to go to user LUT, choose my untitled or C drive, and here's a huge list of LUTs. These are actually my LUTs that I've created for the A7S III, which you can buy for 10 bucks, the entire pack, as well as a video training series, which if you want to support the channel, you can check out my guides or purchase LUTs like this. I'm working on more for more cameras, and that's just a great way to keep these videos coming regularly. So for those of you who have purchased those, thank you. And also there's an update to those LUTs that you should check out. So we're in here, we're gonna go down and I'm gonna choose, actually we'll go to the top and I'll choose the custom false color that I created for S-Log3 on the Sony A7S III and FX3. It's great, great LUT. We'll go down here and choose user 7, but you can go all the way up to 16 LUTs on this monitor, 16 of your own LUTs, which is great. So I'm going to choose user 7. It's going to go ahead and write that to the monitor's built-in storage. Boom, just like that, it is complete. So now we're back here on the main screen. I'm going to press in. We'll go down to new tool, and down at the bottom we have our look. I'm going to select that, go over, turn it on. We're going to change it from the setting to user. And now we can find our LUT, which is user number 7. And it also shows you the LUT name, which is really, really handy. So there we have it. Now I have a custom tuned false color LUT for the A7S III, so I don't have to mess around. I can just, bam, look at that, boom, got green right where it needs to be on my face. I'm done. So that's the amazing settings, pages, and LUT workflow on this amazing little monitor. For 125 bucks, I don't think you can go wrong with this thing. That said, there are a couple issues I have with this monitor that I want to talk about. Number one, the joystick. It is the only way to control everything that comes with this monitor, and there's a couple things I don't like about it. One, the quality isn't great. So sometimes when you're moving around, there's not a lot of feedback. So you don't always feel that a press has happened, which can be kind of frustrating. The other thing I don't like is that it takes a while to get used to all the gestures, when to hold, when to go left, right, up, down, press in. But you do kind of figure that out pretty quickly. And the beautiful thing is once you get those pages set up, you really don't have to mess around with the monitor. You just go left to right and change your different views, which is fantastic. Obviously, it'd be great if this was a touch screen, but that would probably have a much higher price tag. And then finally, the hood that comes with this, while functional, is kind of nasty and annoying to attach, especially once you have the yoke mounted here. But overall, I am thrilled with this monitor and have loved using it. And if you want to learn more about monitors, specifically monitors under $300, stay tuned for this video because there are so many great monitors right here, and I'm really excited to share those with you. So that is going to wrap up this video. If you want to learn more about the T5, check it out down in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you in the next video.